Into was one of the busiest airfields in the world. Night as well as day, the build-up continues of cargo planes and chartered passenger aircraft bringing in more equipment and more troops. Most of the troops, of course, are American. Marines are camped still on the airport tarmac. These ones have been here for 5 days and are awaiting a sector to be assigned to. The first impression is of the huge projection of American power, but with still a lot of coordination to be done. The British contribution comes from the RAF, and the point the British are trying to put over is first that their presence here is a real deterrent, and second, that though the threat of war is very real, not all the horror stories of conditions in Saudi Arabia are rooted in the facts.
Some of the more unpleasant aspects of this situation out here have been blown out of all proportion. And I'd just like to say that we have got excellent equipment. We are aware there is a threat, and we're well trained and very confident that we can meet that threat.
The British tornadoes based here are flying almost constant sorties, and later we'll be getting details of these and of whether they've made contact yet with the Iraqi Air Force.
Was supplied to a number of client states in the days before perestroika. Iraq was one of them, and Saddam Hussein received £5 billion worth of weapons in the last 4 years alone. Iraq is telling no one how many Scud missiles it possesses, but of the Scud-Bs, the first type, there are at least 360. They have a range of around 280 kilometers and a payload of up to 1,000 kilograms. For the Al Hussein missile, an upgraded version of the Scud-B, there are at least a dozen launchers. It has a range of around 600 kilometers and a payload of around 190 kilograms. The Al Abbas, the third type of Scud, is still under development. It's expected to have a range of up to 900 kilometers. Its payload isn't known. Weapons such as these aren't particularly accurate, but they don't need to be. The Iraqis' use of Al Hussein missiles in the war with Iran led almost half the population of Tehran to flee in terror. It's now feared that Saddam Hussein could be thinking of attacking Israel in an attempt to rally Arab support. Intelligence sources say that Scud missiles have been moved to western Iraq from where they could reach Israeli territory. The Soviets, amongst others, fear such a scenario, and there are unconfirmed reports that they've given information to the Americans about Scud which could effectively scupper the missiles. But some academics in this country believe such optimism is premature.
It's too early to know what type of information was given and what technical means are available to the Americans in order to interfere with missile flights.
And with the continuing threat of the use of these missiles with conventional, chemical or biological warheads, then the Iraqi missile sites could be prime targets for international action should direct military intervention become necessary.